Today we're with Patry, a creator that has cracked the code of short-form content, gathering more than 100 million views. We'll be talking about how she leverages short-form content, how she comes with engaging ideas, and how she monetizes to the point of having her own team to manage this huge success. Okay, Patry, tell us about a little bit about your story and how short-form kind of changed your life.
Developed. It has completely changed my life. Well, I'm a teacher. I was a teacher when I moved to England, and then I started working in different schools. But I also studied drama myself. So I was always really interested in, that dramatic side of me, and I've always wanted to work on TV. And so I was very frustrated. They say that those that can, what is the saying? Those that can't act, teach. That kind of thing. I was one of those apparently. So anyway, I moved to England, started working in schools, and then the pandemic hit, and I was getting really, really fed up and tired of working in schools. And so I decided, I quit my job in a school. I had a very bad experience, and I was like, I'm done with teaching. Let's create an Instagram account, and let's do what I've always had that, eagerness to get into the social media world. And I thought that was the moment. And I started doing recipes, and it went terrible.
Oh, wow.
It went terrible. Nobody was paying attention to me. I was trying to be that Instagram, girl, the recipes, the yoga.
But were Spanish recipe or English
Spanish recipes. Oh, what English recipes? Come on. No offense, guys, no offense, but we all know England is not well known for its food, okay?
I thought that was why
tea
it didn't
maybe,
work.
but yeah, no. But no, Spanish recipes, mainly from my friends that were asking me about, hey, how do you cook this, Spanish omelette and so on. Yeah, I hated it very soon. It was not giving me any results. Nobody was paying attention to me. And suddenly one day, I posted a comedy video about languages. I'm a language teacher, so why didn't that come to me organically? I don't know, but a few months later, like 3 months after I started the Instagram account, posted a comedy video with languages, confusing the word año for ano.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, Happy New Anus.
Yeah.
So anyway, that went really well. It started going viral. I opened TikTok and skyrocketed since, and I really enjoyed doing comedy sketches, and it was mixing the language side of things that I love, my passion for languages and my passion for drama. So yeah.
Oh, amazing. I thought for a lot of creators it's difficult to find this content market fit.
The niche.
Yeah, exactly. And if you found it like that, it was amazing.
It was. I always say, because people ask me, what should my niche be? And I always ask, what are you good at? What do you enjoy doing? It should be something that you're really passionate about and that you're good. Imagine teaching other people what you know. That's what you should pick as your niche, I think, always.
Awesome. Let's talk about how do you come up with ideas?
I wing it. I'm a complete, my brain is chaos all day long. I'm walking along the street and I see something, I'm like, ooh, and suddenly everything starts ticking. Maybe I've seen a trend and I can apply it to this. Everyday situations really work out very well for me, and I got a lot of inspiration when I was married to an Englishman, and all of the cultural shocks that we had, or with my friends in England, those cultural shocks coming back to Spain. All of that was pure inspiration. So my daily life was pure inspiration for me. Working in school, teaching languages, all the jokes that the students used to tell me, and those misunderstandings that were funny. But yeah, now that I'm back in Madrid, everything, I was listening to a song the other day in the car with my dad, and I was like, ooh, I could totally do this song as a reaction to this and to. So it's that kind of thing. And whenever I have a WhatsApp group with myself, which is lame, but it works for me.
I do that.
There you
go.
I
have it pinned, I write my notes to self.
Exactly. So I send inspo videos that I see on TikTok or Instagram. I send them to myself, and then I put a note underneath, like, do this, but with that. Or, I write a little script. And some of my best ideas come at night. When I should be fast asleep, my brain is like, so I just get my phone and I write it down, and then I can finally go to sleep.
So you don't have this bucket of ideas?
Yeah.
It's more of a day-to-day basis, or do you have 5, 10, or your idea notebook? Or diary?
Yeah. So I do a lot of language-related things. I've got my idioms. I've got my funny expressions, like, I don't know, I poo in the milk, Spanish people, me cago en la leche. So every time I hear one of those, I add it to the literal translation group or the cultural shock group. So I've got different, areas in different notebooks that I've got. I kind of, whenever I'm running low on inspiration, I'm like, okay, let's check out the notebook and let's see what comes out of that. And I know I've got a bucket over there of things to go. Or even my WhatsApp group with myself, because let's be honest, how many of those ideas do you actually carry out and do you actually film? So many that you forget about, so many that just fall in there and never get filmed. So you go back to that.
That has happened to me, and I developed this kind of framework
Yeah.
Actually, when you plan and organize yourself, it's like, it's such a breeze.
It is.
Of patience and calm. Like, if you have a process, I've run into other creators that are completely living day by day.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yeah.
So we always say that success is unquestionable.
And it's what works for you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think it depends on your circumstances. For example, when I had a 9-to-5 job, like in school, I had to be organized because if I didn't, nothing would get filmed.
Yeah.
So I only had the weekend to film. So at that moment, it had to be written down, all the scripts, every video that I was posting every day to a T.
Yeah.
But now that I'm back in Spain and that I do this full time, I'm like, oh yeah, we'll see tomorrow. No, I need to get back into the routine of planning every day, I think.
Talking about trends, does the content, when you have the ideas, you say, okay, I'm gonna do this trend, or is it everlasting content? How do you manage to balance that?
I think I do both. I think, some people say, oh, jumping on trends, I don't do that. Okay, cool, good for you, but I think they work. I mean, let's be honest, when something is trending and you jump into the algorithm, it works. I posted a few about Bad Bunny translating the songs. He just released the album. It's worked a treat.
I dream about Bad Bunny since that day.
So
every
good,
day,
isn't
whatever
it?
you do, Bad Bunny.
Yeah, I think you need to mix both. I think you need to do everlasting content that it's evergreen and people can keep on consuming and it's never going to get old.
Yeah.
I repost a lot of my old videos because they're just as good and they keep like the Christmas ones. Every single Christmas they are, perfect for it. So people have seen them, but they keep enjoying them and they're like, these will never get old. They are like Christmas carols in Spanish, mi burrito sabanero, that kind of thing.
Totally.
So but I think you need to mix them.
Is there a way on how do you validate these ideas? Like, okay, you have the idea, maybe the trend, okay, and you're sure, okay, let's do this. Do you have a framework, or how do you say this one may work, or I'm gonna put my time into this one instead of the other one?
I tend to be pretty independent when it comes to that because I've done this pretty much by myself. I didn't have much support from my partner at the time, and I was determined to do this and determined to make it work. And at the beginning, people might make fun of you, cringe, Patry's posting videos and whatnot. We've all gone through that moment. But so I think I was like, okay, I'm not going to tell anyone what I'm doing. I'm just going to do it, and then they're going to see the end result. And then you start realizing what works and what doesn't work. And what things work best, like cultural shocks work really well. I don't know, literal translation, the song reactions, my mom being a Spanish mom reactions, that cracks people up. So those kind of videos that are like a series of videos, I know that are already going to work well. If a brand hires me to do something and I know they want that to perform well, I might apply it to this area or to this other area. I might make the most of, I know that's going to come out well. That's why we always say we need to trust creators, guys, to be organic and to come up with their own content. If a brand gives you a script, no, don't do it. It's a recipe for disaster.
So you might tell them, okay, I have these 4 pillars of content that I really know that it's gonna work.
Yeah.
At least if you want to choose one, just choose the category and I'll do the rest.
Exactly.
Let me say it as I know it's gonna work.
Exactly. And trust me as a creator, because where I've got so far is because I know more or less what I'm doing at this point. But I do have people that I trust, good friends, family, and sometimes I especially can get nervous if a video is a bit controversial.
Yeah.
Do you think this is good? Do you think this is not? I like to play it a bit on edge, especially with translations of songs. Sometimes they're cheeky, sometimes a little bit, the lyrics. And I'm like, oh, is this gonna be okay? I used to live on edge when I work as a teacher as well, because obviously I was like, the parents are gonna see this, the school is gonna see this, the students, how is this gonna? But it's all worked out very well. But you always check with people just in case.
So I did a little research, or I pull out together on YouTube your best performing shorts versus your best performing long form content.
I'm intrigued now.
Yeah. So in the top 10,
you
have 78.9 million views in the short form, and in the long form, in the top 10, you have 500, like 500,000.
Yeah.
So this is like 200 times one against the other.
Yes.
So, and I guess now you're focused like almost 100% on short form. But how was the balance between that? Like maybe people that come from shorts don't see the long form, or vice versa? Or?
I think it depends. I find an overlapping of an audience but not necessarily. So I started as short form comedy videos, but my motto was always entertain and educate. As long as you bring in value to people in one way or the other, and if I can do both at the same time, even better. So a lot of people started following me because they were learning Spanish. Now I have a lot of people that are following me because they're learning English. So, I've got a mix of audience from the UK, the US, and Spain, which is great. And I think the videos, my Spanglish Live, they work very well to kind of merge that together. But I decided to do long form because people told me, hey, you're not going to get anything with short form. And if you want to get monetized on YouTube, you need to do long form. When I first started actually doing long form on YouTube, there was not even an option to be monetized with shorts. That came, I think, like 2 months after I started posting long form videos with the idea of, I've got to do this, otherwise I'm not going to make any money from it. And I was dreading the process, and it was mainly Spanish lessons. I didn't do any other long form videos. And for me now, I haven't posted any of those in a long time. I posted one yesterday, but it's been a while since I've done it, mainly because I've got my own platform now where I teach those long form lessons. So for me now, it's the best of my interest is that people sign up to my platform, not that they watch them for free on YouTube, because they didn't used to perform that well.
No.
What blows out for me on YouTube is the short form content, and what gains me, like I've got now 273,000 I think today followers on YouTube, subscribers, or call them subscribers. So that's the drive to that has been 100% on short form, and most of my revenue from YouTube has been 100% from short form, which you can't really compare to a video going viral in long form. That pays good bucks, and short form is there, but it's nowhere near.
Yeah. Also, if you're moving, it depends on your audience.
Yeah.
I heard these days a really good thing that it changed my mindset, and people talk about the algorithm. The algorithm is bad, but it's not the algorithm. You should say, instead of algorithm, the audience.
Yes.
Because if you actually do something that brings value to your audience, the algorithm works. But actually, what it works is the audience.
You've nailed it there.
Yeah.
I think the algorithm is the biggest excuse, guys. Every time somebody tells you, oh no, it was the algorithm, maybe they're changing something up on the app at that moment in time. Like I remember posting a reel on Instagram, and it was at that moment that Instagram went down because I don't know what they were doing. I was like, no! Okay, fair enough. In that case, yes. But most of the time, algorithm is the biggest excuse. If you're bringing value to your audience, they're gonna watch the video. Companies make me laugh when they ask me, what's the biggest, your gap for audience? Like, when is the best time to post? Guys, it's not going to matter if I post a video at 2 a.m. on a freaking Monday night. They're gonna watch it. If it's a good video, people are gonna watch it. And if it's a good video, it's gonna blow up. And if it's performing poorly, I need to look at myself and think, hey, where have I gone wrong with this?
We can tell where your platform is. You're doing school, right?
Yes,
mainly.
School.
Mainly.
Mm-hmm.
So we would say that all the other socials are your lead channel, and from there they go directly to school. That's the only platform you're using, or you're using another?
No, just a school. Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and that's where I post, my content. And I never saw my content when I started this. It was just for the ride. It was just for fun. I didn't know where it was taking me, and now I've got it very, very clear after being a few years on this and knowing how it works, and financially especially. For me, it was such a landmark to actually start making money from it. I was like, whoa, I can actually make money from this. But you can't depend on the views, and you can't depend on the brand deals unless you're a really big creator, I think, which you might consider me a big creator at this point, but still your niche hugely depends on that. If you're doing languages, you might not get as many brand deals as somebody that's doing fashion or whatnot, or lifestyle. So I think it was essential for me to see this as a means to an end. Okay, I've got an audience. You need to have a product. You need to have a service to sell to that audience, and then have a steady income every month coming from that.
You're teaching English-speaking people?
Correct.
To learn Spanish.
Yes.
And now the next thing is vice versa.
Vice versa, exactly.
Awesome.
Yes.
So there's gonna be an English with Patry.
Exactly, there's gonna be an English with Patry, yes, being launched in September, so stay tuned for that, guys.
Amazing.
Exciting times, but yeah, we've realized that there's my audience are really they've been asking me, okay, you teach Spanish, when are we gonna have the English courses, Patry? So yeah, I'm doing that very soon, and I really enjoy school. I think it's an amazing platform, and the idea of having a community rather than just selling a course. You do deal with that.
It's so important, the community, and people don't actually get it until they're years in the process. But something that we'll learn, like if you're gonna start this from day one, focus on community.
Exactly. Totally. I think you realize when you've been trying independent courses and you see no results from it, or very little results, versus what you could have in a community with like-minded people that you can connect, in hours, you have teacher support 24/7. You've got lessons every single week being run, live lessons, which are a game changer for all levels. So I think it's very different from that content that you just film, you just sell to someone, and that's it. Yeah, some people might offer, oh yeah, send me an email if you need anything and whatnot. I think it's just such a game changer at school. And I think the community aspect is going to be growing in the next few years. We're going to be focusing a lot more on those creators that are offering that value. I think it all started with Patreon, and now certain platforms like School have, been a game changer for it.
And really quick, like, what's the day-to-day of somebody that is in that community? Like, you have the forum, you have classes, and you have a weekly lives.
Yes, so you kind of arrange it as you wish. In my community, we try to make it as complete as possible and offer as many things as possible. So we've been growing little by little, and we didn't need an initial investment. So we've been very careful with this. And I say we because I've had a team behind it. Otherwise, I could have never done it because it's so much work. I'm the face of it, but there's a huge team behind me, and it's amazing. But yeah, you look at the comments, you respond on the forums. We've got different forums, general questions, idiom of the day, ask me anything, and we keep the engagement is so important in school. So you want to keep people engaged. And I remember we started seeing the greens coming up, and then the dark greens. And then we were like, okay, we need to keep the dark greens going every single day. And at the beginning, it was us starting those conversations. But now that we've grown to a certain audience, it's them. They want to talk every day. And they're putting, in practice what they learn in the lessons in Spanish. And I think that's fantastic because your brain needs to be in the gear of practicing and talking every day, not only throughout the lessons. What my day-to-day looks like, I look through the comments, the forums, participate as much as I can. You can never get to all the comments, but I've got a team also to address that. And then live lessons, I do 2 live lessons a week, and then the rest of the teachers do 3 more at the moment. So we've got 5 live lessons running. We're hoping to get 7 very soon. And then you've got the courses, that I filmed. For example, today I'm filming a couple of them. Once they're all filmed, I think my workload will get a lot less.
I wanted to know, it really intrigues me. This is starting from you as a creator, so people are really familiar with you. Like, no, I want to get to this course, but I want to talk with Patry.
Yeah.
So how do you manage the scalability of this? If this grows where it looks like it's gonna grow, you'll definitely will need to have more teachers.
More teachers,
and maybe you start, I don't know, Chinese with Patry, but you need another one. How do you think you'll manage that?
Yeah.
And how do you think the perception of the people are gonna be like, okay, I got into the course, but the classes are not with Patry, maybe with another teacher?
Yes, exactly.
How do you think about that?
I was talking about the scalability of it with my team yesterday, because we've seen a huge growth in the past few weeks and months. We started this end of June, and we are now at almost 170 subscribers, which is pretty good growth for the months that we've been going. So yeah, I did think about this. Obviously, we want to offer everybody the ultimate Spanish experience, but what you say is true. This is Spanish with Patry. If it's Spanish with everyone else but Patry, no. So I know this is going to be an upkeeping kind of job. It's not going to be a job that I can ever say, hey guys, this is, you've got your teachers, you do you. No, I'm going to have to, and if we get to, which we're hoping to get to the 500 subscribers, etc., I might need to add some more live lessons a week, which I'm happy to do, because it will obviously
I've seen communities like this, and maybe some part of the week is your team, and the team is always, okay, the hard questions you want, save them for Friday when it's with Patry.
Yes, we have just added, for example, on top of my 2 live lessons a week, we've added a Q&A in the weekends. So we do 1 Q&A a month, and as the community is growing, we might add some more of those, or we might need to add 1 more extra lesson, or maybe two a week for a week, but let's do it on the same days, and let's do it in the morning and then in the evening, so it's more manageable for me as a content creator. We travel a lot, so I know exactly, okay, I need to be on Mondays and Wednesdays, I need to be in the house, I need to be ready to film.
I wanted to know, on a regular day, like we were talking before, that after this interview you're gonna do to create some content with another creator. How is the process from end to finish? Like in a nutshell, but okay, you record, and then what happens? Tools, or when you're gonna record with what do you usually use to record?
Yes.
Whatever you can tell me from start, like you go and meet the other creator or the place you're gonna record, and you have a final video.
Yes.
How's that process?
It all depends. For example, today it's a collab with Tom, who you interviewed before, and I know I'm going to his place. I know he's got everything sorted, the mics, the camera. I'm like just the princess passenger today, just showing up there, like here with you today. It's fantastic when that happens. But you know, when you need to sort it out, I keep it simple. I have invested now in a team, you know, we've got some drones, we've got some new cameras, better editors, but I keep it as simple as possible. And as you grow, I think you start investing in more things that you might have seen. But mics, I need to buy some new ones because I filmed a video the other day, and you know when the sound is not good and you're like, this is such a great video, but the sound didn't quite cut it. So mics, have them all ready all the time. Lights, I normally keep like a portable light with me, because even if I'm filming something in a restaurant or in the street, and you know you've got the light there, a little tripod that you can keep with you, and the phone. I don't really need much more than that. With a phone, I think you can get, like we were talking about, really good quality. And I have a podcast with a friend of mine, and we normally film when we are out and about with the phone, and it works out just fine.
Amazing, because people usually no, they have a $2,000 camera, and no, with the phone. It's
when you're growing, once you've grown and you want, like for example, now I've got some brands that I really want to work with, and I'm like, guys, I can give you such great shots, I can give you such an amazing quality, and so you can pay me more. Fine, you know. You can, but you've also invested in that. But at the beginning, and even like I still do it, and I've been 3 years into the game, and I still use my phone.
You're an Apple user or an Android user? Your phone?
Apple every day. Yes. iPhone awesome. 15 Pro Max. That's it. All I have.
Regarding tools or apps that you use, which are the normal ones?
I used to use a lot more, and now that I've changed my Apple account, because I'm now living in Madrid and I had to change everything. The main ones are CapCut for editing.
And you do CapCut Pro?
Yes, CapCut Pro. I hate editing with a passion, which is bad, but I hate it. If I could have somebody that would be with me all day, just edit.
That's gonna happen.
Oh, one day maybe. And tick save, because obviously sometimes you post on TikTok or you repost the videos from TikTok. You don't want that watermark there. So you just save them on there. And it also saves from Instagram, I think. No, there's another one for Instagram, but mainly CapCut Pro and tick save. That's about it.
Very simple.
Honestly, very simple.
Guys, you should never, this is important, never use watermarks on your video. You're gonna get completely
banned, shadow banned. Don't do it.
And it's not only obvious, the obvious one is TikTok, don't use it. But there's some people who use their logo as a watermark also. No. Yes. You can use the logo, but a few seconds at the end, and whoever.
Even when I repost, a YouTube video onto my stories on Instagram to drive people there with the link, I never write the word YouTube. And if you notice, creators, when they're doing stories, they don't say YouTube or they don't say TikTok. They say in the other platform, or in the long form platform. And I just put like YT or something like that. It's little tricks like that that really help.
Is there a process on your hooks? Because a lot of your videos are really engagement from the very beginning, and that's so important. But is there a special recipe on that, or you're just a natural hook?
I think I'm pretty natural in that sense. I think I developed that being a teacher. I used to work in really tough schools, and either you engage the kids or they come for you. It's a survival mechanism at this point.
Totally, makes sense.
But I think what a lot of people tell me is that the first thing that comes across in my videos is the energy. So I try to portray that a lot, like being very energetic from the beginning. Hey guys, or did you know? Or start with a question or things like that. And that works really well, but I always think about the hook, something I didn't used to think about at all. And then I've realized with time, you need a good hook.
You've mastered it, because if I see your content, it's like every day you're happy. Like normal things in life don't happen to you.
I'm a Gemini as well, so that helps. I've got like the two faces, and I always show you the best one, guys. But no, shit happens as well.
Is there a secret on loyalty for your audience? Like, have you developed something that you can maybe give us an advice on loyalty to see people every day coming back?
So I think, first of all, it's very important how you earn people's trust. So, I know my audience trusts me. If I recommend them something, that thing is going to be good because I've tried it and I know it's good. I'm not just going to do it for the money. I'm luckily at the point that I don't need to do it for the money. So anything that I recommend, it's because I really, really like that product. So they trust me in that sense. Or sometimes they ask me for recommendations on anything, on this or that, and I just do it for free without even brand deals or whatnot. So trust, super important. Never betray the trust for a bit of money. It's not worth it. It's not worth that connection that you've already created with that audience and them thinking, oh no, I can't, or I dislike this person. It's just be yourself, I think, because having another persona in front of the camera would be exhausting. It's not worth it. The people, the posers and it's just, you need to be yourself at the end of the day. Otherwise, this is in the long run, this is not going to work. So trust and value, I think, are the main two ingredients. You're yourself, you earn the trust.
Be true to yourself. And
just like in our normal relationship, like you have a relationship with another person, what would you be like? You know, you wouldn't betray that person and you would add value to their life. Like, you know, if I'm single, the man that's coming in my life needs to add value to my life. If not, I'm better off by myself. I think people online are the same. Are you adding value? And whenever I look at my videos, I'm like, this video is crap. No, I'm not. I'm literally not improving anyone's life sharing this.
Amazing.
Not even entertaining or what. I'm not going to post this. So just add value to that.
quick break to tell you about something every creator needs. Growith is an app where you can test your short form content before or after posting and get real feedback to improve. Creators don't just want likes, they want real feedback. They want to know what's working, what's not. That's how you grow faster. That's why Growith, it's all about creators helping creators, getting real feedback from people who actually understand content and not just random opinion. If short form is your main way of reaching people, this is for you. Check out growith.app. The link is in the description. Now, let's go back to the video. Now let's talk a little bit about feedback. For me, there's two types of feedback. When you create content, do you run that content through somebody else? Like, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
Is there a special person? Do you prefer known people, unknown people? Like, how does that work?
So I think we touched on this a little bit before. It depends on the video. Like the polemic ones or the ones that are like, you know, slightly that something could go, you know, people just take it with a pinch of salt and they would pick on anything. I'd run it maybe with my dad sometimes because he knows a little bit of both worlds. He also speaks English and he understands a lot more. I definitely wouldn't ask my mom. She wouldn't have a clue. And then some of my friends that are also on content creation, like my friend Carmen, I have a podcast with, and she's also suffered, you know, the backlashes of some of her, some things she said or some videos she's posted. So yeah, I run it by them mainly. I don't think I would run it through a main audience. I don't normally do that anymore. I used to at the beginning. I used to just show my friends, but they used to take the mick out of me. So I was like, you know what, whatever, I'm just gonna post it.
And regarding the audience feedback, I say that
I see where you're going.
comments, good comments and bad comments. How do you handle that? And if you create content upon that, is that something that you're every day like seeing what happens? Because I know creators that I'm not gonna watch comments because I cannot handle bad feedback.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit.
I'm extremely lucky. When I first started, I remember one of my first videos was like dancing in Spain versus dancing in the UK. And you know, parties in the UK, you're just there with like your Coke Zero or whatnot. And then in Spain, it's like, woo! And then people saw that and started attacking me like, oh, what's that chair? Or attacking the furniture that I had in the house. Or what's that move? And it's because they didn't know me. And people sometimes are scared of the unknown. And now I'm I think quite well known around the internet. So people say, oh, this is Patry. She means no harm, you know. She's not going to do anything. She might do silly things, but she's here to make us laugh. So because I'm in that niche of entertainment, making people laugh and helping people learn, I think people are really grateful. So I barely get any hate. Having said this, sometimes you do get some comments, especially with me. The DMs can be quite wild, like sexual remarks or certain things that you don't want to read before going to bed at night. So that can be the thing that might be playing up in my brain. But in terms of feedback, somebody said yesterday something about a spelling mistake. And I was like, oh, damn, I didn't realize before. There's very few things I hate the most than making a spelling mistake in a video before posting it.
As a teacher, that's a no-go.
Oh, as a language teacher as well, that's big. That did annoy me and that did bug me pretty much all night. But apart from that, things like, oh, Patry, could you put the subtitles above because we can't see them on YouTube. YouTube does this thing that it doesn't let people from the computers, I think it is, because it puts a lot of things underneath. So to watch the shorts, it's better if you put the subtitles on top. But then that doesn't work like that for the other apps. So it's like, oh, where do I put them? But a lot of the time, the feedback is very, very constructive. It has helped me grow. So I appreciate feedback so much in general.
There's a really important question that I didn't ask you before. What's your main and love social? Like, what's your platform that one thing? Do you create content for that platform and the other ones eat out of that one? Do you create for each platform a different thing, or do you reuse or repurpose?
Okay, yes, reuse, repurpose, recycle, call it whatever. It used to be TikTok. because that was the first one that made me viral and that was giving me so many followers, and I was like, yay, I love it. And Instagram was giving me nothing. It literally gave me nothing for, I think, like a year and a half. I see little to no growth on Instagram, so I had to be patient, and I was posting the exact same videos that were going very viral on TikTok.
It's the same.
Exact same ones on Instagram without the watermark as well.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even that. Instagram was ignoring me for a year and a half for whichever reason it was. I don't think it was an easy time to grow either. It was after the Reels had started. I was late in the game. I've always been late into every single one of these games, but I've got there. So yeah, I think Instagram now is my main one. It's not the one that, I think it's the one that I've got the least followers in. Yeah, it is the one I've got the least followers, 135k. Well, I've got two actually, 135k in one and 140 in the other one.
Wow.
One is for Spanish purely, Spanish with Patry, and the other one is my personal account where I do my lifestyle. My personal account is the one that is like my baby. I really like it, and I want to invest a lot more on that one, and that's where I share my everyday, my stories, my travels, my trip, you know. And so I really love that one, because even though it's not the one that makes my videos go the most viral necessarily, which at the moment is actually working pretty well, but it wasn't necessarily, but it's the one that allows me to connect with the audience the most, and I really
we
value
could say that it's the one that converts the most.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's the one that if I address people, if I go on stories, if I do a Q&A, I know that that's going to convert into sales a lot more than a video on TikTok, for example. Awesome. I know that that's not going to.
So for the moment, you think of Instagram for when you're creating content, but then it's the same for TikTok, YouTube Shorts, etc., etc.
Yes, I think of shorts.
Yeah.
So I think of 1 minute shorts. Now they made it to a minute and a half, and I think now they've taken it back to 1 minute.
No? Shorts.
On shorts. Yeah.
I think I have to double check that.
I think so, but they keep changing it, and you know, Instagram the same. TikTok, we know now that TikTok is the wild west. But yeah, whatever I put on Instagram, it goes onto TikTok and it goes onto YouTube, and then not necessarily everything that I put on TikTok would make it to Instagram. I'm a bit more careful with what I put on the feed there.
Let's go to monetization. I think this.
Let's talk money.
Yeah. Because a lot of people they have a lot of doubts, and okay, I'm gonna start this, I'm gonna monetize, and what should I be on top of? From your main income right now, how much percentage would you say comes from short form content?
I couldn't tell you that at all, because it varies so much every month. First things first, short form content in terms of views pays peanuts.
Yeah, totally.
Absolute peanuts. Like TikTok, I don't think it would even give me enough to pay me for a good dinner out in Madrid, guys. TikTok is a joke unless you're doing TikTok shop, which I've heard stories that people are making absolutely tens of thousands every month. I might start linking some products on there, because you know what? It's worth a try. But TikTok pays you peanuts. Instagram doesn't pay you in Spain. I think in the US it's different. And YouTube is the one that pays you the most for a short form, but not necessarily that much anyway. We're talking about millions of views you need to be making in shorts to be making a decent income on YouTube. I think short form translates into brand deals, and that varies every month, especially being a language content creator like me. You know, I've done brand deals, for example, with Preply, and I have now the brands that I work with, I try to establish a long relationship with them, because I'm not going to be recommending you one learning platform one day and then another one the next day. I don't like that. And the ones that I really like, I want to recommend them for a really long time. So yeah, and also, as you know, I'm starting my own platform for English. So those brand deals are gonna run out very soon in that sense. I need to start thinking...
If they're competition.
Exactly. You know, it's a conflict of interest. So I'm going to be thinking a little bit of changing my niche, and I'm going to be doing a lot of more vlogs, which I think are very popular at the moment, and focusing on that, on my new life in Spain and traveling around Spain, and you know, all of tips around Madrid, places to go, etc. I think it hugely varies every month, honestly. So what converts from those shorts into sales for school? I don't think that many. I think sales for school mainly come from Facebook ads that we pay for. So Facebook ads, I do create short form videos for that, but I don't think many people come from just watching a short form video. I don't think that translates as well nowadays. Workshops work really well. So guys, I'm going to do a free master class lesson on Spanish. Join me, and at the end you're like, hey, you like this? Do you enjoy this? Join my platform.
Awesome.
But yeah, it varies so much every month. I couldn't tell you. One month is like this, woo, brand deals, amazing. And the next month is like brand deals are here, but school is here, and they've come from shorts, whatever. It varies a lot.
Besides socials, is there another lead channel, or maybe it's a word of mouth thing, or do you have a partnership with something else that it doesn't bring you clients through socials? It's another way?
So obviously word of mouth has always been popular, and I don't think that will ever die no matter how we move. That's always a powerful tool. But in this case, for me, it's coming mainly through my socials, my link tree, always having my platform as the first link, the stories that I do and all that, but mainly Facebook ads is what's paying off, what's bringing the clients, and most clients, they say, no, we've come from Facebook ads. And school has got something really annoying that I don't know, I can't understand how they haven't thought about this before, because it's taken them a while. We've been pushing for them to get it going, an affiliate program. School doesn't have it yet. Tom, for example, that I'm meeting next, he's got a very big community of expats that have now moved to Spain, which is one of my biggest, niche
target.
Exactly, my target audience to come to school. And he wanted to do an affiliate with me, and I would be thrilled to do it with him, but they're not working yet. So as soon as that's up and running, hopefully in the next few months, we can do that. But I think affiliates are really important. So having those collaborations with other content creators that maybe don't have a business for themselves, they just do different things, but they're happy to advertise, to your audience, or they're maybe in a complete different niche, but they have a large English audience or a large, UK audience or whatever, and they want to learn Spanish. So yeah, having those collaborations, and they get their bit, I get my bit, everyone's happy.
Yeah. Regarding monetization, is there any advice you could give creators on, hey, focus on this when you're starting, like these are the important things, these are completely non-important, don't waste time on this?
I would say I just said affiliate is very important, and now I'm gonna say don't do affiliates. No, listen to me. So do affiliates that are rewarding for you and that don't pose a conflict of interest for you. But I remember at the beginning, a lot of companies used to just offer me affiliate deals. Oh yeah, you can post a video and then we'll give you whatever revenue of the people that sign up. And I'm like, no. I'm posting a video. I am making a video for you. I'm editing. It's my face you're using. It's a lot of things involved. I am charging for that video. And I used to be very silly at the beginning, not charging or not. No, it doesn't matter how big you are. Obviously that matters, your audience, you can't be charging with like 300 followers, let's be honest, but it's at the end of the day your work. Like I remember when I used to work as an actress in Spain doing ads, I didn't have any following, social media wasn't a thing, and they still paid me because I'm showing up and I'm filming a video and I'm putting my face, for your brand. Same thing, guys. So you need to be charging what your work is valuable for, you're having a service and you're doing a product at the end of the day for somebody, you're giving that product. So I would say make sure you've got that clear. They will try to haggle all the time. I'm really glad now I have my right hand man doing all of this, my manager. I don't have to deal with any of these exhausting emails, but it's a long game. It can be exhausting and you need to be very patient. It's worth it in the end once you get the ball rolling and you realize, hey, I can actually make decent money out of this. But it can also be very frustrating, and I would think pick your battles. Never choose anything that goes against your ethic or against what you represent. Just for money, like I said before, is not worth it. I'm very careful with who I do ads with and who I do promotions with. And think of how you're investing your time. Is it paying off? Is it not? Are you investing, I don't know, an hour of your time of editing a story? Nobody's paying you for it and it's just for that's an hour of your time. How can that time could be better invested in? Like I said, something I didn't realize at the beginning when I started this, I was like, yay, let's go. I'm in for the ride. This is fun. And I saw it more as a hobby than as a money-making business. And now that I have no choice but, hey, this is my business. I've got my brain geared in the business mindset. And I'm like, okay, no, this is a means to an end. So whichever video I post, not all of them, a lot of them are just for fun, but a lot of them have a purpose behind them. Opening to a different niche, being able to advertise certain companies. There's a purpose behind it, and everything is, once you have a team as well, you can carefully think about these things, but just write things down, have a plan, don't just go with the flow and start dancing to trends. You need to have a plan. But think how you're investing your time and what's best going to pay you and reward you for that time.
When you do brand deals or any content that is monetizable in a way, how do you measure success, or how do you measure the brand's expectation? How's that process on?
Well, the companies are very, very careful with that. They all have links, now there are all these programs that you need to sign up with. They can measure all the metrics and the impact that it's had. I mean, the biggest thing is whether they hire you again or not. I think sometimes it pays off for them and sometimes it's like, ooh. I've had some brands that were paying me, I don't know, absolute peanuts, like 500 at the beginning for a video, and then that video got 8 million views. The company was like,
They hit the jackpot. Yeah.
Sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes they're paying you well, and that video for some reason doesn't make it as big as it should.
And if this happens, okay, you have your dream brand and you have the dream script and you think everything's gonna be wonderful and it doesn't perform. Would you, just to keep the brand and the relationship, would you do a second thing to try to...
100%, yes. So I've offered freebies sometimes, and at the beginning as well, people don't want to pay you. They might offer you a free mattress or a free this or a free that, but you really like that brand, or you really like, you're like, okay, listen, I'm willing to do the first one for free or just, as a gifted collab. However, if it performs well, if you're happy with the content I create, so I'm just going to show you what I'm capable of. You give them kind of the teaser and you're like, I've got them. They really want now. I've done that with an insurance company that I've worked now on my travels. They didn't pay me that much, but I really wanted to work with them. They're really big. And I was like, I'm willing to go, low in the first one, see what I can do. They were thrilled with the content. They really liked it. It performed well. And they were like, any other time you're going on a trip, just calls. And at that point, now I'm at the moment that I can demand more, because I'm like, hey guys, I gave you this as a bit of a freebie at the beginning. Now we've got a good relationship. We're mates. You got the mates rates now actually. So it's worth it. Or, maybe sometimes you've got in the deal, it's only an Instagram and a TikTok. You don't have the YouTube shorts included in there. But, you see that they haven't performed as well as you expected. So you maybe also post it on YouTube as a sign of goodwill to the company, to keep that relationship. Hey guys, I hope you've seen that I've also posted it on YouTube. And I've also done an extra story, just, I want to keep the collaboration going. You need to keep these things. You need to keep your friends happy, I guess. Treat your friends well.
Really good advice, guys. Always think on monetization. Not all the content is monetizable.
Exactly, yeah, monetization. Yeah. Not all the content translates as that. And yeah, sometimes a video would go absolutely viral and it brings you a bunch of new followers, which is great engagement. But how does that translate to your business? If that's something completely unrelated to your brand or to what you represent or to what business you want to get into, it's actually, you're shooting yourself in the foot there. So be careful with that.
What do you see the future of short form? I'm hearing a lot of different things, but I wanted to see what you're thinking about it.
I do not know, and it really confuses me these days, because I'm moving now into vlogging, and the videos that I'm going to start putting out on YouTube long form are vlogs mainly. And I spoke to my team and I said, do you think we could get out of those long form videos some shorts of like, I don't know, maybe on TikTok 3 minutes. I've seen people doing 4-minute videos of them just walking around the house making noises, and people watch them and they go so viral, and I think, what? And I'm here scripting everything to the T, and there's these people that wake up and just clap, and it all comes down to the attention span. At the moment, the attention span is an average of 3 seconds, so short. And all the companies that I'm working with, they always tell me keep the videos to 1 minute or less. If you can keep them to 40 seconds, even better. I don't know where we're going with this. I genuinely think we are growing a generation that are used to getting everything fed to them so easily and so quickly. If you're in the metro, you might see people scrolling on the phones. What's the speed that they go at? Boom, boom, boom.
Faster than Tinder.
Honestly, literally. I was like, whoa. I looked at a lady doing it the other day. I was thinking, okay, that made me reflect. You really need to catch them. I think short form is going to keep growing and growing and growing. And the bite-sized content is going to even be used in schools as a form of teaching. Those 1 hour lessons, I think that we used to have in school, 1 hour of technology, 1 hour of this. I think, the government and the teachers are going to really start thinking, hey, we need to make lessons shorter, because there's no way this generation is going to pay attention for that amount of time. Is literally impossible, and it's going to have a better impact. So I think short form is going to keep growing, and I think we're going to see a surge in vlogging, a lot more vlogs, because people love the salseo, and they love, when you're at home, I see a lot of my followers that are like, oh, I just play your podcast, I'm exercising, and I just put you guys on the screen, and I like watching your podcast, and it's like having two friends. I think, a lot of people feel lonely and they want to have that company. So there's a need of long form still, but in a more organic way. Like, you're in the living room with your mates, or you're going on a trip with a friend, and that's what people want to see. They want to feel accompanied by the long form. That's what I see most people consuming, rather than lessons and all of that, because lessons I would only do for like 10 minutes versus long form vlogging. I see people doing an hour and people watch it. But I think short form is going to keep exploding. Absolutely. I think it's going to keep going, because that's what our brain is now used to.
Yeah, I've heard like people also treating it as Netflix. So there's a continuity in every video. video, and once you get to an account of somebody, it's like a never-ending season.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's that's also some of the things that I've heard, that it's gonna come like a 3-minute movies or chapters. 3-minute chapters, and everything is linked together.
That's very interesting, because I saw the other day a creator I really like, Hayley Morris. She's an actress in the UK, but she does comedy sketches about, you know, the uterus and the female body, and she's hilarious. And she did one the other day, and she did like a short film on TikTok, and it was a short film, and it had a huge effect and a huge impact. And I was watching, I was like, this is brilliant. And then I saw this girl that was doing a vlog, short form vlog. They don't last more than a minute, so it's a very short form. It's like watching an Anne Hathaway's comedy, you know, or rom-com, and you're there and she's talking to the camera, and then she's doing her makeup, and then she looks at you again, and you're thinking, this is so clever, and it feels like you're watching TV, you know. So I think it's gonna move more into that sense. Our entertainment as we know it, you know, watching films for 2 hours is gonna be a big challenge, because our brain is no longer going to be trained to stay focused in something for that long, I think.
Yeah. The key question is, what would you recommend to somebody that is starting, or maybe to the Patry when you started the recipes?
Yes, the recipes. Don't try to be someone that you're not. Just because you see people, you know, creating aesthetic content and going very big, and those big creators that, you know, have everything, like the perfect dresses, the perfect this, the perfect recipes. If you're not that person, you just need to be genuine. As long as you're genuine, and as long as you are yourself and you're bringing value to the table, I'm gonna watch it. Whether that value is jokes, whether that value is you walking around the street and, you know, talking like you normally talk, and I feel like I've got a friend and I feel like I know you, I feel that connection. Just be genuine. Super, super important. The most important thing. And be patient, because it takes time. It's not going to happen over time. You need to be consistent. But I would always say the Patry from the past was really worried about posting. And at the beginning, I remember I got this tip: you need to post 3 times a day. And I was burnt out. I was exhausting myself posting 3 times a day. It's not doable. It's not doable, and it's not something you can keep up. So I would say always prioritize value over quantity. It's better to post 1 or 2 videos a week, but make them real good videos, than be posting every day crappy videos, 100%. So be genuine and bring value, but good value. And you make it. Sooner or later, you're gonna make it. Remember, this girl didn't have anyone following me on Instagram for 1.5 years. And suddenly one day, boom, Instagram noticed I was there. So be patient, but yeah, be true to yourself and keep bringing that value.
Amazing, Patry. Really thankful for this conversation and all the things we learned here.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Follow Patry. We're gonna leave everything on the description, and I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Adiós, gracias.